Hello, guys. We're working on our zoo today. Just loading in. Just make sure everything is set up properly. Let's load into Tri-State. I think we're gonna try and build the flying squirrel tap. Hold on one second, my dog's being some crazy. Dog tour of the other dogs. And I really like this habitat. Let's see if we can just grab this. Trying to figure out exactly how. I want to do this, but I think this is a pretty good way. I don't know why it's not letting me select. Here we go. All right. maybe like this. Take this all the way to the wall. All the way to the wall. That'll work well, I think. One second. Be right back. All right, we're back. What's happening? Why can't I select this? Still can't. Guess let's grab what we can. Really quite odd that I can't select that. I don't know why that would be. Very odd. Very, very odd. But whatever. We got it mostly in place. That's in line. Get this in line. There we go. Looks nice. I wonder, can we do... I wish we had thinner one-way. Glass panels. Hey, Greenheart. Welcome to the stream. Wonder if I put this in like so. Oh, yeah. But it's not super visible through that, which is actually kind of what we are wanting. Let's see. If I put in some lights, what is visibility going to look like in there? Because they're nocturnal species, so I kind of want to make it look like it's night in there, but have it actually not be night. Have it like right here. I take this light and I say, let's make it red. Looks like we're getting the effect that we want. A little bit too much of an effect. A little bit too much. But this one. Not really bright enough. There is that. I doubt that is. We are building for the Southern Flying Squirrel, which is basically just a sugar glider. I'm relating it to Australian / Oceanian. Like I can see the red bit, but I can't see any light. I mean, something tells me this isn't going to be the light that we go with, but maybe that's not too big of a deal. I mean, I wish that we actually had a lighting engine in the game that could. Account for this. That will be good. Really? And this kind of gives the impression, at least, that it's dark and. Right, and then let's get. But how are you doing, Greenheart? Surviving and. Yeah, of course. I'm glad you're doing well. We're gonna be not streaming as much this week, probably. I think Monday and Wednesdays in the morning, and then Tuesday evening. That's probably going to be it this week. But it's going to be a good week. My wife and I are going to the mountains for our last trip without kids. So, yeah, trying to remember where you're moving. Oh, it's still in Australia. Was it? Hmm. I don't remember. I could guess, but be sure to get it wrong. I want to say Sydney, but yeah. Remember you told me what city, but at least I think you did. But I can't remember for the life of me. I'm just gonna grab the whole thing. This was supposed to be a different color. Specifically changed it. Yeah. You're not random at this point. You're regular though. But yes, I appreciate the grace. Well, I'm glad you're able to make it. I know you probably got a busy life, so thanks. Oh, that's the Cecropia. Thanks a lot. Yeah, yeah. It's based off of I think it's called a white pine, I believe is the tree. But it's a somewhat common tree in like Appalachian habitats. Or Appalachian habitats. I mean, I guess that statement is somewhat accurate in Appalachian like regions. They've got a very regular upright or like 45-degree angle almost. This is all very fine detail work. Kind of hate, but it's what will make it look good. So we can do this like earthen wall. And of course we'll have to put in lights for this to also be for a day-night cycle. So at night, the lights that are bright will come on so that the animals think that real life day is night and the night is actual day. That way they'll be awake when guests are around. It's a trick zoos use. Yeah. Trick a lot of zoos use to make their nocturnal animals more visible during actual daytime hours. I think we have 6 flying squirrels that are supposed to go in here. Unfortunately, there's no mod for the southern flying squirrel, and I don't think there's one for a sugar glider. I should have checked that. If there was one for sugar gliders, we could have used one. They're not related at all, but they are considered to be an example of convergent evolution, where they basically look almost exactly the same, even though they're not related. They both can glide. They both have the kind of gray and black coloration. Oh yeah, yeah. I think sugar gliders are in parts of Australia at least. You must be in more northern Australia. I don't know where sugar gliders are. So I think they're I want to say they're a species of possum. But I'm not sure. Yeah, I mean they're also nocturnal, I'm pretty sure. So not surprised at that. Yeah, these guys are too. I've only seen one in the wild. I think that's the only time I've actually seen one either. Yeah, I know they're commonly kept as pets. Sugar gliders, that is. Yeah, I've seen one southern flying squirrel in the wild. I think only one. Seen the American red squirrel in the wild. Not seen fox squirrels, I don't think, which is their species in here. This is specifically the Florida fox squirrel. They've got that black coloration. It's pretty unique. Yeah, we're gonna do a lot of ferns in here. Ah, we got some rules like that, mainly for snakes. They're some of the stupidest rules. Like we're not allowed to keep any native king snakes. Which I don't think they're even threatened. Let me see, what kind of habitat do they really like in the plants grow? Habitat. Deciduous. Probably need a nesting box or something. That's true. See, for us, king snakes are the snakes that eat other snakes. They're not deadly to us. They're just deadly. 1 second. My wife is about to go to work. Where was I? That's right. I think I want this. Now, box turtles I understand because they're more of a threatened species here. It's also weird. You can't keep any native venomous snakes, I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure in Alabama, but you can keep non-native venomous snakes. In turtles, we have almost no restrictions on turtles, unless it's box turtles. I think there might be a restriction on snapping turtles. You can go into pretty much anywhere, catch some turtles, keep it as a pet. I do believe we have more turtles than any other U.S. state. Yeah, I know Australia is super strict. I was just We're strict on the things that don't really make sense. Like, if I wanted to keep a species of king snake, I couldn't even buy a captive bred one if it was native to the state. I could get like a California king snake, but any. Oh yeah, I agree with that. I am a little wary of government getting to pick who getting to pick who is prepared to keep animals. I don't know. That seems a little. Feels like that system could be gamed a little bit. I don't know. I say that as a reptile keeper. Got myself a. Used to have a chameleon, but she passed away not too long ago. So now I've got brown and null, which are not native to the state, but they're very closely related to a native that we have here that they did not have in pet stores, which was kind of surprising considering green anoles are one of the most commonly kept reptile in the pet trade. Honestly, I think that's pretty good for that habitat. It doesn't have to be like dumpy tree frogs or like a red eye. No, like the White's tree frog or the dumpy tree frog is native to Australia. Maybe it was the red-eyed or it's an American green tree frog. I don't know. Let me grab the right image. Go to Canva to make sure which one's the right image. 1 second. 38. If we just change out this is flying squirrel. I guess what we can do is maybe finish this here. That. I saw someone, they were making a brick out of this. That was really cool. I'm looking for a specific piece that I saw. I remember seeing. No, I don't remember seeing it. Think. Hmm. Yeah. Pretty trying to go somewhat low budget, so oh, what button I clicked? I did not like it. This, I don't know. That in place right there. Center focus here. Intruding that far out. Let's see. this, that. Um, I think we're gonna actually line it up this way. This. Not quite like that. That's a little bit too big. That's too much. Let's grab this right here. Okay, I'm thinking that might be a little bit too tall. Just a little bit. You know, this is exactly the same height, but it means that we can actually lower it easily. So we could have done that same this, right? All this. There we go. A little higher than that, maybe. These are still squirrels, even though they're not athletic ones. Or they're not they're not tree-dwelling ones. That feels a little bit better. A little better. Now I just need to take a brick color. I'm going to take this brick color. A grunge color. It's brick color. Grunge color. This. And color 1. Stone color 2. And color 3. Let's get some bushes in here. Those aren't visible in there. Good. Little chipmunk guys. Then we grab some nettles. Fit in like a birch tree here. Maybe even just like um There we go. North America temperate. You need to get out of here in a second. A nice little climbing area there. There's always going to be some amount of grass growing around. It's a nice little habitat for some ground squirrels, the chipmunks. Anything else? That's about it. Yeah, and they can move through there. I guess we could use the sign that we made for them. Slide 49. That will be the last thing we do. Last thing we do for today. Rename. Right there, chilling. My bird education. We gotta fix that, but we did get our red wolves. So we do need to finish up these habitats, and we have 2 coyotes now instead of the one that we put in here. Got a lot of work to do on these habitats. Where is the coyote? There you go. And then our bears, which I really like this habitat. What we're here for. You were here for the creation of these here. These signs. We can go out. This one, like. Not saying we're done with this habitat either. It could still probably use some work. think it's more done than not now. It's a simple enclosure, for sure. All right, I gotta go. I got work to go to. Thanks, guys, for